Jesus the same yesterday, today, and forevermore. There is no one Jesus. Jesus is beautiful, merciful, natural. Jesus is high and mighty, Jesus is gracious, generous, Jesus is the same yesterday, today, and forevermore. No other name that can save, deliver, and restore. Jesus is the same. There's no other name that can save. Jesus.
Yo, what is good, everybody? So excited to have everybody here. It is 8:30, and so I'm all about starting on time, but we will give some people an opportunity to jump in. While we're doing that, let's put in the chat on YouTube and in Zoom where you're calling in from today. I see Jeffrey from Tulsa, Oklahoma. What's up, buddy? Happy to see you. Happy to see you on. Who else is on? Where else is everybody calling in from? Diane from Boston. Nordia from Pennsylvania. McKinney, Texas in the building. What's good? Ashley, I see you, girl. What's good? We got the Message Church from Phoenix, Arizona. Canada, South Carolina, Michigan, England. What's up, England? I don't know how to say your name, Riea. I'm going to give that a try. Suru from California. Kavina, you're in ATL. What's good? You should come to the Go Downtown this Saturday since you're in ATL. Let's see who else is on. Let me turn off the music. We got Onaka from Michigan, Canada, South Carolina, Sharnisa from ATL. We got Love from New York. New York was good. England, North Carolina. Awesome. And on the YouTube channel, we got Jay from Phoenix, Arizona. What's good, Jay? Melanie Mayer from the UK. Thank you for, what time is it over there in London right about now? London, it's pretty early over there right now, isn't it? Because London session, well, anyway, thank you for calling from UK. Morgan Williams from Dallas, Texas. What's good, Morgan? Let's see. Anybody else? Let's see. We got that. Awesome. Cool. So excited to have all of you guys on today. We are going to jump full-fledged in. If it is, what I also want you guys to do is I want you to type in the chat box if you are a returning student or if you're brand new. So I want you to put in the chat box if you're returning or brand new. Sura returning, Nora returning. What's up, Kavina? Brand new. happy to see you. Rhea, new. Onaka, brand new. Rachel, brand new. We got a nice mix here of returning students. Teddy's brand new. Good to see you. Good to see you. Happy to have you on. Yep, I know, Jeff. I know you're a member of the masterclass, baby. Appreciate your support. I hope you're learning a lot. Sarah from Long Island, so she's returning. Returning. EJ, she's in the masterclass as well. Yo, so we got a lot of returning students, and let's see. Morgan Williams, brand new. Jay, brand new. Oh man, YouTube is where it's popping. Brand new. True Girl T, brand new. So we didn't. I didn't record part one. Oh, okay. So it's 1:30 over there in the UK. I knew it was early. So we didn't record part one, but this is part two. And I may send this out. Sometimes I feel kind of like, I may send it out for like 24 hours and then drop the link. And so there's that. And then, cool. Very, very good. Well, guys, we are going to jump right into it. Let's see. I'm going to share my screen. Let me pull up the PowerPoint and share my screen. There it is. Perfect. All right, guys. So welcome back to session 2. Welcome to how to make your first dollar trading. Super excited to have you guys here. For those of you returning, I want to take a moment just to do a little about me and introduce myself. So I'm Michael Pittman. I've been in financial education since 2014. I was formerly licensed as an investment broker for PFS Investments, and I was one of the top volume performers there. And along with that, I worked for Bank of America, was nationally recognized for my performance in consumer, small business banking, and wealth management banking. And so I have been, like I said, in the field of financial education, helping families, hundreds of families across the world learn more about finance and money management. And so when it comes to my background, I've, like I said, been teaching families for years, but also teaching people how to get results. You know, some of these pictures were taken back in 2014, 2015, where I'm teaching people financial concepts, how to get ahead financially, personally. And even with this client, they had so much debt that they were about to lose their house. But whenever I put a financial plan together for them, they were able to save over $1,000 a month by just paying their debt off a different way, and they were able to cut off their credit cards, which was pretty cool. And it just kind of goes to show that for me, it's not just about educating people, but it's about helping people get results, which you guys will see later too. So one of my clients that was most impressed was a lady by the name of Heather Lindsay, which a lot of you guys may know. I was privileged to be her and her family's personal investor while I was a financial broker, and it gave me an opportunity. It did very, very, very well. It gave me the opportunity to speak at their singles conference, as well as her big, signature Pinky Promise conference back in 2017 with her husband Cornelius, Lisa Bevere, and there were about 3,000 women there, which was just a really cool experience just to be able to talk about finances, personal finances, how to get ahead, and just being well-versed when it comes to financial education. And so when it comes to when my life shifted, when my life changed, it was at this point, whenever I went to school at SMU. Beautiful campus. I mean, this is right here, downtown Dallas. This is the campus. And you know what? I don't know if this photo was photoshopped very much, because I'm telling you, the grass is just as green. Trees are beautiful. I mean, this is where my life changed, on the campus of SMU. I met my wife there, and it was very, very valuable. And it should have been, because when you look at the cost of SMU, you'll notice that it costs right now $75,000 per year just to go. That's not $75,000 for 4 years. That's not no masters included in there. That's $5,000 per year. And so because I went to a school that was so expensive, I was around a lot of very wealthy people. Like I remember moving in my dorm freshman year, and there was a girl who lived on the floor below me, and I won't say her first name, but her name was Blank Walgreens. Yeah, that Walgreens. And if you went down the street and you went to another dorm, there was another girl by the name of Blank Marriott. Yeah, that Marriott. And because it was his wife's alma mater, and because his library there, then it was nothing for you to show up in a history class one day and see George Bush teaching your history class. Now, regardless of your political views and whether you're left wing, right wing, Democrat, Republic, it don't really matter. If you're walking around with people with this level of wealth, this level of prestige, this level of power. I remember one time walking out of the student center and I looked to my left and Laura Bush was right there next to me, George Bush's wife. And I was just like, hey. And she was like, hi. And there were like 3 Secret Service guys behind her. They jumped in like a black SUV and like sped off. And it was just not sped off, like they weren't scared of me or anything, but like it's just crazy to think about the types of people I was around. And so here's my background. I didn't grow up wealthy. I was on scholarship and student loans. Hello. And so for me, I was like, man, how do people even get to that level? You know what I mean? Like, I think whenever I grew up a regular middle-class guy. Mom was a teacher, dad was a coach, and so I grew up thinking like doctors made a lot of money. And then I met people whose families own the doggone hospital. I mean, it was just bananas. And so whenever I was in college, whenever I worked as a financial broker, I was talking to one of my mentors, and he is a multimillionaire. And I was just like, man, help me out. How did you get there? And he just asked me a simple question. He said, Michael, what do you want your quality of life to look like? What do you want your quality of life to look like? And he broke it down like this, and it made so much sense. He said, Michael, quality of life comes down to 2 things. The first thing it comes down to is time. And the second thing it comes down to is money. Your time and your money make up your quality of life. And you know what? You got to have both. If you had all the time in the world, but you didn't have no money to pay your rent, no money to pay your bills, no money to eat, then that's not a great quality of life. But if you had all the money in the world, but didn't have time with your family, didn't have time to go on vacation, didn't have time to take a mental break, well, that's no good either. And so for me, I learned that quality of life came down to 2 things, time and money. And now I had to ask myself, how can I control my time and money? See, I started off actually here. I'm going to illustrate you guys a concept that I learned from a book, Rich Dad, Poor Dad. See, whenever I worked at the bank, my wife was a teacher, like I was an employee and I didn't have any control over my time or money. I made decent money, but I didn't have any control over my time or my money. What do I mean by that? If I was scheduled to work on Saturday, like that was just it. You know what I mean? I didn't have the control to say yes or no, or else they let me go. I remember banks are open the day after Christmas and the day after Thanksgiving. And so I would have to go in the day after major holidays instead of spending time with my family, and not only that, but whenever they told me this is your salary, like it didn't change, and so like if I was killing it, and someone else across from me was, doing okay, we still get paid the same because salaries are salaries. They don't change. You don't have control over your time or your money. Now, what many people do from here is they say, you know what? This ain't the move. Let me become self-employed. You know what I mean? Like, let me start my own business on the side. Let me do hair. Let me, draw tattoos. Let me cut hair. You know what I mean? Whatever. And so the thing is with self-employed, you have more control over your time and money. Because if you are a self-employed, barber, you can not get out of bed, and you can control how much you charge per cut. But the thing is, all income is based on your efforts. all income is based on you. If a barber goes on vacation, guess what else goes on vacation? That money. You know what I mean? If a dentist goes on vacation, then guess what else goes on vacation? The money. Because when you're self-employed, really you just own your job. Instead of your job, you having a job, like you own your job. And so that's self-employment. And for many people, they're like, man, I really don't have my time or my money the way I want to, because anytime I leave, I ain't got nothing left. And so what many people say is, I want to be a business owner. See, a business owner has a system of people working for them. Let's do an exercise real quick. If you are at McDonald's and let's say, you go up and you have, something wrong with your order, and they just mess it up. You say, you know what? And then let's say they give you an attitude too. You say, you know what? Let me speak to your what? Fill in the blank. Let me speak to your who? Manager, right? Manager. Absolutely. Manager, exactly. And so it's like, let me speak to your manager. But what's interesting? Why do we never ask for the business owner? Why do we never ask for the owner of the business? It's because the owner's not there. The owner has a system of people who are doing work for them so that way they can have the freedom of their time and their money. Now, this is pretty cool, but you know what? To open up a McDonald's, it takes like a $1.2, $1.3 million. And I don't know about y'all, but whenever I first got started off in Forex, I didn't have that. And so, so business ownership can be kind of tough to get into. And now that's where we start to talk a little bit more about investing. Because what an investor does is they have a system of not people, but money working for them. You put your money in the stock market, you put your money in the Forex market, you put your money in whatever market. And at that point in time, your money's working for you. Your money don't take off. It don't have sick days. It ain't got no baby daddy drama. Like your money just work. And so there is the gray side and then the blue side. Which side would you like to be on if you had the choice? If you had the choice between the gray side and the blue side, which side would you all want to be on? Let me pause this. Let me see what y'all saying. What y'all? Blue side. Blue. Blue. Blue side. What about my people over here? I'm gonna say blue. It's blue all the way over here for the for the Zoom chat. Let me see for YouTube. Let me see what you guys are saying. Blue. So there it is. Everybody wants to be on the blue side, which we would expect. But now the question is, how do we get there? How do we get there? Like, I didn't grow up with my family knowing how to invest and teach me how to do X, Y, Z. And so for me, it's like, how do I learn how to truly become an investor? Now, if you guys would have said, I'm trying to be on the gray side, I'm not trying to do all that, then not only would this webinar not be for you, but I wouldn't have much to offer you. But today, because so many of you say, you know what, I want to be on the blue side. I'm right now on the blue side, and I tell you, it's like the most amazing thing in the world. I want to teach you guys how to get there too. And so now let's get into the nitty gritty. Let's talk more about what Forex is and how I can help you guys make money as an investor. So first thing I want to tell you is Forex is 90% mental. And I know that may sound kind of like, kind of up in the air, like not very practical, but it's the most practical thing I'll probably say tonight. Because when it comes to Forex, when it comes to money, when it comes to trading, it's high pace, it's fast pace, It's adrenaline. You see a trade and you want to jump in, but you're thinking, man, maybe I should be patient. Maybe I should wait. Do I get in? You see it moving. You're like, okay, then I'm going to get in now. Did I get in too late? Oh my gosh, I missed the trade. Do I chase the trade? I mean, it's just, you have to get your mental clarity right in order to be successful as a Forex trader. For some of you, you may not know what Forex is, and we're going to talk about it in just a moment, but I just want to start off by saying Forex is 90% mental. Forex is 90% mental. Strategy, we could teach strategy all day and you can learn strategy. But if you're not right mentally, if you're not in the right state of mind, you will blow your accounts. And so Forex is 90% mental. That's the first thing I want to teach you. And then the second thing I want to teach you is that results in Forex can be deceiving. Oh, what does that mean? Deceiving? Here, let me illustrate what I mean by that. So you may come across somebody and they're like, man, I made $5,000 in one day trading Forex, trading stocks, trading this, trading that. Well, the question that you have to ask, there are 3 questions that you have to ask that person. The first is, how much money did you have initially? The second is, what percentage did your account grow by? And third is, what percentage did you risk in order to achieve that result? How much money did you have initially? What percentage did your account grow by? And what percentage did you risk in order to achieve that result? Because making $5,000 in one day, that's pretty sexy. You know, that sounds really good. However, if they had an account with $100,000 in it and it grew by $5,000, that's 5%. You know, I mean, pretty good, but it's actually more impressive for someone to have a $100 account and grow it by $20 because that's a 20% gain on a $100 account. If that same strategy would have been used with this account, it wouldn't have been 5,000, it would have been 20,000. But, you know, 5,000 sounds a lot sexier than $20. But the amount of money that someone is making in Forex is not necessarily an indication of their skill level or how well they're doing in the market. They could have just a large account and it grows by a small amount compared to someone who has a smaller account that grows by a large amount, you know? So that's one thing about Forex and about trading and about, you know, really just about everything dealing with investing, whether it be real estate or whatever, that's important to know is that you have to see the results in context. In addition to that, you have to ask that person, what was the risk? How much did you risk to make that $5,000? Because when trading, it's important to trade with a 2-to-1 reward to risk ratio. A 2-to-1 reward to risk ratio. Now, I want to pause right here, and I want to see from you guys. I want to get your perspective. I want to get your perspective. What percentage do you think, if you're trading, what percentage do you think you would need to be successful in order to be profitable? So let's say let's say you made 10 trades. How many of those 10 trades do you feel like you would need to win in order to, at the bare minimum, be profitable? Out of those 10. 5, 5, 5, 6, 5, 6. Good. And then let's see, let me go over to the YouTube folks. There's a little bit of a delay, and so I'll wait on y'all. How many of you guys, how many would you trades out of 10 would you say you would need to win? Lynette Adams said 3. Let's see, 7, 6. Let's see what other answers we got over here. Half. Good. 6. So we're getting like 5, 6, 7. We got a 3 in there. Cool. So the answer to the question is it depends. It depends on proper risk management. That's why in my course, I always talk about risk management because I'll show you guys this. If you are trading with a 2-to-1 reward to risk ratio, let's just say you did 10 trades with a 50% win rate. You only won half the time. So trade 1, you lost 1%, but trade 2, you gained 2%. 1%, 2%, 1%, 2%, 1%, 2%, 1%, 2%. You trade with a 2-to-1 risk to a 1-to-2 risk to reward ratio, to where I will risk a certain percentage with an opportunity to make a certain percentage based upon, how I trade. And so if this were you, 2% times 5 trades is 10%. 1% times 5 trades is negative 5%. And so you're still at a 5% profit. A 5% profit on those 10 trades. You take 10 trades in a week, you have a 5% profit. You got, let's say, $10,000 in your account. That's $500 that week. You know what I mean? Like, not bad. And so what's interesting with trading is that you have to know how much people are risking to hit certain numbers. So let's go back to our example before. Someone says, I made $5,000 in one day. Well, did you risk 1,000 and make 5,000, or did you risk 20,000 and make 5,000? Because those are two completely different scenarios. If you over leveraged yourself and risk $20,000 just to make 5, then that's not a good risk to reward ratio. And so when it comes to Forex and stocks, and I just want you guys to know that, man, like, results can be deceptive and deceiving. People can say, I make this amount of money, or I did this, or I did that. But you have to look at things with the total context of how the person's trading. Okay. So now let's get more practical. I want you guys to go to www.tradingview.com. www.tradingview.com. And I'm going to go there now as well. All right. So in the group chat, let me know once you get there. Let me know. Tell me you're in once you're in. In, good, in, good, good. Perfect, perfect, wonderful. And now let me check on the YouTube folks. And Genesis Martinez is in, Marie Aka is in. Wonderful, 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 wonderful. Good. And perfect, good, good, good. So now I'm going to share my screen again. And now we are at tradingview.com, right? So now let's go to tradingview.com/chart. If you don't have an account, I'll give you a moment. You can set up an account really quick and then just catch up with us. And so if you're a returning student, you already have this set up, tradingview.com/chart. So now we are looking, and for some of you, this is going to be a brand new world, right? And so let me change this to an arrow. And so here's what we are going to break down today. The first thing that we're going to break down is, what is Forex? Like, what is Forex? Right? Forex, let me find the text. Forex is exchanging one currency for another currency. Forex is exchanging one currency for another currency. Forex is an abbreviation for foreign exchange. So let's do, so you're exchanging foreign currency. So let's look at right here. Let's do this one because it involves the US dollar. So AUD USD. AUD is the Australian dollar. USD is the US dollar. And so for those of you guys who are returning students, is the Australian dollar the base currency or the quoted currency? Put it in the chat. Base. Hold on, you guys are, okay, hold on, let's see. You guys can't see the website? Hold on one sec. What do you guys see now? Do you guys see me? Nope, just black. That's not good. Let's see, hold on, let's see. Screen sharing, chat. What are you guys seeing now? Let me see if I can find it. You just see the very top of the website. Let's see. Let me take a look. Let me see if I can fix that real quick. Is that any better? Let me see. Is that any better? Perfect. That's it. Now you can see it. Okay, cool. Awesome. I don't know what happened with that, but y'all can all see me good. Let me check on my people over here in the YouTube world. Let's see. Oh, yeah, now I can see what you saw. Okay, cool. Much better. Good. Okay, cool. So let me go back. So now, let's see. So Forex equals foreign exchange. And it is when you exchange one currency for another currency. Cool. So what does that mean? Right here, we see that AUD USD equals 0.7375, right? So AUD USD equals 0.7375. What does that mean? All that means is if you moved the USD to the other side, it is saying that for one Australian dollar, you would need 0.7375 US dollars. So what that means is, let's say you went to Australia on a vacation, and you're like, man, I need some Aussie dollars. You say, okay, let me go to the bank. You go to the bank and you say, hey, I need an Aussie dollar. I want to buy a Coke or I want to buy something. And they say, okay, we need 7375 US dollars, or basically we need 74 cents. You know, that's all foreign exchange is. Whenever you're exchanging one currency for another, that's Forex. That's foreign exchange. And so what's great about Forex is that there are 8 major currencies. There is the British pound, Japanese yen, Swiss franc, British pound, Canadian dollar, Aussie dollar, New Zealand dollar, US dollar. So there are 8 major currencies. And so that makes it much easier to trade, because instead of having to maybe, like when you trade stocks, trade, you know, trying to figure out which out of the 10,000 companies you want to trade, you just figure out, hey, I'm just going to trade this pair, this currency, these 8 currencies, and it makes it much easier. Okay. And so one of the things that I wanted to teach you guys today is I wanted to teach you guys about trend lines. So let me actually, I'm going to trend lines and support and resistance. And so I'm going to delete that. I'm going to delete that. And let me just check the chat to make sure that I'm still alive. Can y'all still see me good? Am I still good? Cool, perfect. Okay, yes, great. And so let's talk about support and resistance for a moment. So I want you to imagine, actually, and what I can do is I'm going to stop sharing, and you guys can see me right here. So let me ask you guys this. Whenever I write this, does it show up like Forex or does it show up backwards? Perfect. Ooh, come through Zoom. Because whenever I look at it, it looks backwards. And so I'm glad you guys can see it good. Okay, perfect. And so let me teach you guys something about support and resistance. I want you to imagine that you live in a house, right? And the house has the first floor, the second floor, and then this is the roof, right? Cool. So I want you to imagine you're right here in the house. And I'm gonna show love to the ladies on the call. So I'm gonna make sure got the hair going on, okay? And I want you to imagine you are Wonder Woman. You have superpowers and you can jump, and sometimes, not all the time, but sometimes you can actually jump through different floors, okay? So let's imagine this is the basement. This is the first floor, second floor, and then roof, right? So if you tried to jump and it didn't work, you may bounce off there. And then you try to do it again, then you may bounce off there. But eventually, if you can break through, you break through, and then you would land right here on the first floor, on the floor of the first floor. Now, the floor of the first floor was previously the ceiling of the basement, right? But the floor of the first floor now becomes the floor, and now you can do the same thing, and then boom, the second floor becomes the floor when it was previously the ceiling of the first floor. If you understand what I'm saying so far, I want you to type in, I got it. I want to make sure I'm not moving too fast. Perfect, perfect, beautiful, beautiful, good. And so now, here's what happens. In the market, and this is good because this is for the Forex market and the stock market. What's great about the way that I trade is that it is called technical analysis, which means that it applies to not only stocks, but Forex and many other things. So, what happens is, let's say this is the Forex market. You will find that there will be levels like this to where it's just to where you get resistance, and then it'll break through, and then the ceiling will become the floor, and then it breaks through, and then the ceiling becomes the floor again. And so these are key levels in which the market can reverse and change potentially, or break through and go up or down. So now what I want to do is I want to show you guys really quickly. I want to show you guys some examples of this in the real Forex market. And so let me do this. Let me share my screen. Cool. So now, let's see. Let's go through. This looks like it was something that I marked. So let's go out. Let me just. So here's an example of this, right? Let's say right about there, right? So if you notice, we'll zoom in just a little bit too. So if you notice, right here, it bounced off and then broke through and then bounced off, came up and bounced off again. And then even this long line, it tried to break through and then it just scurried right back up, bounced off. And then now it broke through. And so now when we're looking at this live, you may, if you trade already, look to see, okay, now if it gets to this level, it may, boom, become the ceiling, which was previously the floor. And let's see, there may be a little bit more. Let me zoom out a little bit and go to the 4-hour chart. Do that again. And here we see another level right here. You notice that, like the boom, resistance. It's a ceiling, breaks through, becomes the floor, then breaks through, becomes the ceiling, goes down, becomes the ceiling again, becomes the ceiling again, breaks through, breaks back through, breaks back through. This would have been very, very, very hard to trade. Breaks back through, you know, and so when you look at, especially like right here in this area, where it was floor, ceiling, floor, let's see. Look, this was 33 days and 18 hours. And yet, just consistently bouncing over the course of this time frame, right? And so support and resistance is key when it comes to understanding trades. It's part of, it's fundamental to anybody's trading, whether they trade based off of patterns or trade based off of economics. Everybody uses support and resistance. It is the ABCs, 1, 2, 3s, building blocks of trading. And so if you guys understand that, let me hear you go ahead and put in the chat saying, I got it. Oh, no, you said I got it last time. I want you to put in the chat just indicating that you understand what I'm going, how it's going so far. Let's see. Yeah, buddy, word, I understand. That's good. Y'all come up with better things than I would recommend anyway. Roger that. 10-4, foxhole, copy. Yes, perfect. Beautiful. And let's see what the, yes, boy. So, got it. Oh, wait. That was from before. YouTube's still catching up. And so, so great. And so now, what I want to do too, one of the last things I want to teach you guys about is trend lines. Trend lines. So let's see. An uptrend is equals higher highs and higher lows. A downtrend equals lower highs and lower lows. This will make sense in just a moment. So with a trend line, what you want to do is you want to look for, click the trend line button right here. Actually, I like to use the ray button because it's straight. So what you want to look at, you see these little lines right here? We call those wicks. I'm going to do a webinar one day on these Japanese candlesticks so that I can give you guys even more value. And so what you want to do is you want to connect these wicks. What you'll realize is that trend lines become support and resistance just in a diagonal direction, right? And so you'll notice that it's boom, floor, boom, floor, floor, right? And so with trend lines, what you'll realize is it's kind of like, here it is right here. So because this is an uptrend, there are higher highs. These are the high points, and the high points are getting higher and higher. Like for instance, let me draw it out even better. So this is a high point, breaks through, then that's a high point, but then this point was higher than that point. So it just keeps getting higher and higher up top, but then guess what? It's getting higher and higher at the bottom too. So there's this point right there. You go a little higher, that point right there, that point right there. So uptrend is higher highs and higher lows. And what you'll notice is whenever you trade, you'll want to look for times where it's hitting this trend line. And if it's in an uptrend, depending on other market conditions, it's a good opportunity for a buy signal for you to put in a trade thinking it's going to go further. One thing that's cool as well is whenever these trend lines intersect. So for instance, check this out. What do you notice? Resistance, resistance, ceiling, 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 breaks through, breaks back through, ceiling, 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 breaks through, comes back through, breaks through. So now when it comes back to this point right here, this is actually a great example. I didn't plan this, but it's a great example on USD CAD. There is a floor right here and an upward trend line. You expect it to bounce up off the floor as well as bounce up off the trend line, right? And so those two combination things right there, I mean, I would say if I saw that in real time, I'd be like, oh yeah, cool, time to jump in. And what would have happened? It would have taken you all the way up here. You know what I mean? So, I mean, and at that point in time, how much is this? This is, if you would have held your trade all the way up here, that would have been 469 pips. To give you some perspective on that, that would be like you having $100 account and this trade would have made you $47 or $48. You would have made 50% on your account by this trade alone, going from here to here. And that's 40 to 50% on your account within 16 days if you held it that long. So, I mean, this is an uptrend. What's cool is that whenever this uptrend was broken, notice it's still support and resistance. It's still support and resistance. Now this uptrend that was the floor has now become the ceiling. And now we're looking at a downtrend. And so if you click right here, you connect those points. Do a horizontal line right here because obviously this is a point of support and resistance right here. Now see, in a trade like this, I would maybe wait until it got a little closer, but I mean, I'm seeing support and resistance. I'm seeing a resistance. It's probably supposed to go down. Now I see a downtrend right here. You know what I mean? I mean, these are the types of trades that you like to take that are high probability trades, right? So let me ask you this question. So far, are you, if you're getting value from this, I want you to just type in the chat value, value, value. If you're learning anything from this, I want you to type in the chat values. Value, value, value. Good, Good. Let me make sure. Let me go over to the YouTube folks. See how the YouTube folks are doing it. Value. Someone asked, when you say resistance, do you mean like a flat line? Yep, just like a ceiling and a floor are flat. Like that's how support and resistance are, as well as diagonal on uptrends and downtrends. Okay. And so now you guys have, and I know it's a lot to process, but wouldn't you like to know, okay, I'm looking at the market and it's all making sense, but how do I do it? Like at some point, it's like, well, how do I know when to get in? What signs and signals do I look for? How do I know when is the right time to get out? You know, how do I not like hold on to my trade too long? You know, I mean, there are so many questions that you guys may have. And it's actually for that reason that I created this that I wanted to show you guys. So it's for that reason that I created this, the Forex Master Class, right? And so you can find the website right here at bit.ly Forex Masterclass. And this class is going to teach you how to trade. It's one thing that's great about it is that you pay once for lifetime access. You get access to my 5-step simple strategy and special pricing on future content. Forex Masterclass, you find it on your desktop, you can do it on your desktop, on your phone. And this is my from A to Z. You're a brand new beginner, a brand new person, and you just want to learn how to trade. This is the Forex Masterclass. And so what's one thing that's amazing about this is that everybody's loving it. Over the last few days, I've had some really kind people leave reviews. And so Dexter Sullivan, you can find these people on Instagram, ask them yourself. He said it's been a gold mine. And for anybody who's interested in learning the game of trade, he had been approached by a multi-level marketing company and other people to invest, but he didn't really feel prepared. But through my masterclass, he felt more informed, better prepared, and even more motivated to get in the game. Somebody else, Lester Aby said, I have been looking for a new challenge for about a year now. I'm about 3 modules in, and it's been really easy to follow. Another person, at flow_AA. I'm really enjoying it. So far, I love the simplicity, the practicality, the use of real life examples. For example, illustrating how Forex transactions are happening all around us. Thank you so much. See, here's the thing, guys. Right now in this webinar, I can only cover so much. But with the Forex Masterclass, you're getting quality premium content at volume. Now, in addition to that, I've had even more real students. Someone said this person was from the UK. I've said, what's your honest feedback? And they said, I'm enjoying it. You've explained and organized all the modules well. I'm still watching the chart part as I still struggle to understand it. Guess I need to practice more, which is no problem because it's lifetime access. You're not on a schedule. But I'm giving simple examples. I make it look easy to use, and this is one of my students who said, I've been winning about 70% of my trades. I showed you guys the amount of money you can make on winning 50% of your trades making 70% of your trades using my strategy. I mean, the sky is the limit, and you'll be ready to learn how to trade from jump. Now, what's great about this and what I'll be honest with you about is that there are other options, right? And so, you can go and do a free trial, on forexsignals.com, pay $97 a month. You know what I mean? I know whenever I was first learning Forex, I didn't necessarily just have $97 a month to just let go on a skill that I wasn't sure about. You know what I mean? In addition to that, there are more expensive classes. I sure couldn't afford 3,000 pounds, or over $3,000 to get a Forex education. It's like, learn how to trade Forex, pay $3,000. It's like, holy smokes. what a price to pay. Is this like a college degree? Obviously not my college, because my college was very expensive, as you know, but it's just like, I didn't have $3,000 to invest, you know? And then like, there are other, like I said, options. Like whenever you go to, like if you go here, what's great is here's the Forex Masterclass, here's the website, and I tell you everything I'm going to teach you. What is Forex? Leverage, brokers, how does it make money, support and resistance, Japanese candlesticks, types of orders, and stuff like that. And what's interesting is that you can go to a website like this, like the Online Trading Academy, and for 5 days it's going to run you $5,000. And guess what? For $5,000, they're teaching you pretty much the same stuff. Forex foundations, the different types of orders, you know, risk management, time zones and trading sessions. I mean, you're gonna pay $5,000 for just 5 days. You know what I mean? And so the thing is, while there are other options out there, even like an iMarkets Live, which is a multi-level marketing company based on Forex, you know, it's $200 to get in, $200 a month. And I just knew that for me, whenever I was first getting started, it was like, you know, that's like a car payment or like a light bill, you know what I mean, every month. And so for the people whose last name wasn't Marriott, for the people whose last name wasn't Walgreens, I just wanted to give you guys an opportunity to know like how, I just want to give you guys an opportunity to know like you can learn how to trade. You don't have to spend an arm and a leg to do it. I built this course with you in mind. When you go to my Forex Masterclass and you click to enroll, guess what? It's $147. Not once a month, not billed annually, $147 to learn a skill that can make you money. And not only that, but check this out. You put in this coupon code early -bird and apply, $97. $97. Not once, not just once a month, not billed annually, $97 for lifetime access to learn a skill that can actually make you money. That's what this is all about, folks. And as I've mentioned before, when we talk about the cash flow quadrant and we talk about being an investor, what better way is there to start? When you break down $97, it's even if you only had this course for a year, $97 divided by 365 days in a year, 27 cents per day. 27 cents per day. That's the cost of a large water at McDonald's. 27 cents per day to learn a skill that will actually make you money. And you don't get this for a year. You keep it forever, for the rest of your life. I've had so many people that have said, Michael, you're selling it. People who are experts, Michael, you're selling it for too inexpensive. You're underselling yourself. Like you're giving too much value. And I said, you know what? While that's true, I want to make this available for as many people as possible, because I didn't see stuff like that, like out here for people like me who didn't come from much, but really wanted to learn a true skill. And so here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to, in the chat, I'm going to type in bit.ly/Forex Masterclass. So I just put it in the chat, and then I'm going to also put it in the YouTube chat as well. Oh, it won't let me type in bit.ly/Forex Masterclass. But but it's bit.ly/Forex Masterclass. And so, you know what? I want to give you guys an opportunity to check it out. For those of you guys who haven't jumped in, you know what? Like it's a great program. I've gotten, like I said, a lot of positive feedback on it. I have students who are already who are on the webinar tonight, you know, because I'm still consistently providing value. And it's at this point in time that I want to open it up for questions or anything you guys have. I'm going to do the share button here. So any questions that I can answer for you, I'd love the opportunity to do so. Let me see. So let's see. So let me go zoom out right here. And so Jeff asked, do I do my analysis normally on the 1 hour or the 4 hour view? Do I do my analysis on the 1 hour or the 4 hour view? I normally analyze on the 4 hour, and then I like to trade on like 1 hour or 30-minute time frames. And so here's what he means by this. So let's see. I go into it more in my course. Basically, when you look at, if you ever talk to somebody when they're really, really hungry, they may act one way for 30 minutes, but that's not necessarily their character, right? And so in that same way, the Forex market, when you trade it, there are times where, you know, let's say that this, let's say it was on an uptrend like this, right? It was going up. Now, if you are only looking at the market right here, then you would maybe think that it's a downtrend. But when you zoom out and look at the bigger picture, you'll realize that it's in an uptrend, and you'll realize, okay, now it's more important for me to not be in sells, but really to be buying the market, right? And so that's how I trade, and I normally look at the 4 hour time frame. Hopefully that makes sense. Do you use a broker when you trade? Also, do you teach us how to trade without a broker? Is this an option? It's not possible to trade without a broker for Forex, and my broker is FX Choice. In the course, I actually show you step-by-step how to sign up with a broker so that it's not too confusing. What time is the best time to trade? Depends on the pair you're trading. I talk about this in detail in my course, but for instance, right now it's 9:30 p.m. And so if you're trading around this time, you're going to want to be trading around the Australian dollar and the New Zealand dollar, because it's about 9:30 a.m. Friday morning in Sydney, Australia. And so those are the currencies that are moving right now. But that's going to be different depending on what time you trade. But in the course, I break that down for you so that way you know what's the best option for you. Let's see. Oh, so many questions. Is there a way to practice before trading real money? You bet there is. If you go to metatrader.com, and in my course, I kind of show you how to do all that. But there's a way for you to trade with monopoly money, basically, to where you can trade and practice your strategy for as long as you want, and it won't cost you a dime. You can open up the free demo account, and it's what I always recommend for people who are just starting out. Do you trade in gold? Yes, I do trade gold. But it's very volatile, and I would recommend having some years under your belt, because gold moves a lot and the pips are different as well. Do you ever trade currencies that aren't the 8 major ones? I don't like to. I have a buddy. He makes 15, 20 grand a month, trading Forex, and he likes to trade like the South African rand and different things like that. And the Hong Kong dollar or something. But for me, there's enough money to be made. 80% of Forex transactions that happen with the US dollar. And so there are plenty of opportunities with just the the 8 major currencies. I'm not sure if my trading webinar is comparable to the stock trading ones like Rich Dad Poor Dad, because I've never been to them. Let's see. So the discount is the 97. You don't get a discount on top of the 97. The course is 147. This is for P. Ruley. The course is 147, and then the $50 discount makes it 97. Are there certain groups to assist with those of us who are new? Example, to share trends when we enter trades until we have mastered a certain level of trading. Yeah, that's the goal. In fact, with my Forex Masterclass, we actually have a Facebook group. I'm constantly adding people into it. And so we have a Facebook group, and the goal is to kind of form a little community there. It hadn't gotten on and popping just yet, but that's the hope. I do not work with cryptocurrency. I just haven't messed with it yet. Let's see. I have some questions over here on the YouTube channel. Let's see. Kendrick Trask uses FX Choice as well. Way to go. Are you going to make any more videos on trading? Glad I caught this. Thank you for sharing. You're welcome, Lena. I like to do these webinars like this. But you know, the majority of my content is going to be in the masterclass course. And then if I do end up posting this, I haven't decided if I will or not. Even if I do end up posting this, it won't be for long. The name of the website where you trade Monopoly money. What you do is you go on FX. Well, I would download the app MetaTrader 4. And when you use MetaTrader 4, you can just click on the options to open up a demo account, and it will open up one. You can choose the amount that you want to put in, that you use to an extent. And it will help you just practice clicking buy and clicking sell. Gold shines at New York session. It sure does. Let's see. So that helped with that. And then let me see. It automatically opened a demo account for me with $5 million. You can actually open up another one and change that. You don't, I think, and if you open up a demo account with a broker, then you can actually do like a specific amount, like $227, and be like, what would me trading with $227 look like? You just go to like an fxchoice.com, open up a demo. It'll give you the login information, and then you'll put that login information into MetaTrader 4. Reporting earnings come tax season. They're added, if you have a W-2 income, they're added to your W-2 income, and it's taxed at your normal tax rate. But losses are counted as well. So if you make a certain level of W-2, but you lose a certain amount in Forex, then it can lower your tax bracket as well. How much does each trade cost? Depends on the amount of money that you're risking. If you're risking $1, the cost of it is going to be different than risking $100. And then each broker has different, fees, but it's very small and minuscule. I mean, you could be risking $50 or something like that, and you'll pay like a fee of 81 cents or something. Like it's like very, very small. Let's see. Yes, Forex. Someone asked if you can make money on just Forex trading, and like, yeah, absolutely. Many people do, and me and my wife, we have various buckets of income, and so it's hard to say. There's some months where one bucket is more prominent than another bucket, so it just depends. Do I accept investments, or am I currently just giving lessons? I'm just giving lessons, unless you want to just do like a little ministry investment or something like that, or buy the course or something. But like, I don't trade other people's money. I am definitely a teacher. Definitely just a teacher. Let's see. How did I learn all this info about Forex? Books, training material, webinars, teaching. I mean, just a whole bunch of stuff. On my other presentation last week, I showed all the books, half of the books that I've read, and it's just it's just been a lot. And that's why I created this course, is because I kind of try to like sift through the unnecessary stuff and just like give you content, value, and stuff that matters. Let's see. Cool. I've studied technicals for the last 2 years with no real success. How long would you say someone needs to study your course before making money? I think it just depends on how the person trades. You know what I mean? It's like, how long can you trade support and resistance before it makes money? You know what I mean? Like, it's just like, it just depends on how you trade. And so when it comes to technicals, I like using harmonics. I'll probably do a harmonics course eventually, but I'm still honing my strategy for that. So anyway, I love all of you. I appreciate all of you. We're well past the 9:30 mark that I wanted to keep you guys at. I appreciate you for everything, and I look forward to seeing you inside the Forex Masterclass. Talk to you soon.